Black man. This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now.
This is America, why a music video is causing a major stir right around the world. Also, how a news analysis website is filling a critical gap at a time when newsrooms are cutting down on resources. A look at the most followed global leaders on Facebook and how they interact with their followers. And we're going to go behind the scenes of an emotive love story in 4 languages, all for a Challenger soap brand.
You slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now. This is America. Don't got you slipping now.
All right, we're going to start the program with this story. And if you haven't seen the music video for This Is America by American rapper Childish Gambino, you must be living under a rock. The video garnered more than 100 million views on YouTube in a week. Let me say that again, 100 million views on YouTube in a week, and for good reason. With its nuanced political commentary and searing commentary on gun control and violence against black lives in America, this is a true example of what happens when media, art and politics collide. So here to help us unpack some of the references made in this video is local recording artist and writer Mix Blaus. Welcome. Thank you very much for talking to us. We're going to delve into the nuances in just a moment. And before we look at the imagery, why has this thing exploded around the world? 100 million views and climbing in just a week.
It's very zeitgeisty. I think there's no other way of putting it. I think it's in all the things that come through in the video are things that are topical. And it's also, Childish Gambino has become the new Kanye West for a lot of people. Kanye West used to be that conscious voice in hip-hop that a lot of people liked, but he was also just a modern and different kind of black artist that we looked up to until recently when he made the comments that he made about slavery being a choice.
So what voice then is Childish Gambino articulating, and who is it aimed at?
I think it's aimed at the general population, to be quite honest. I think he's an artist, and I think the responsibility of any artist is to reflect the times that they are living in. And I think that's what he was successful at doing with both the song and the video. I mean, when we get to the nuances, I'll talk a bit about what those nuances are and how they relate to even how we consume culture today.
All right, let's wade into that then. The first thing is the gunning down of the choir has direct impact on a terrible event that happened in Charleston, North Carolina.
So with that, I think it's just about framing how black lives are really just not as valued as some of the things that some of the people in the US specifically want, like the right to own guns. So when you see in the video, after shooting the people, because the choir is not the first people that he shoots at, he first shoots at a guitarist right at the beginning of the video. And
then he does something with the gun. What does he do?
So a child walks up to him with a cloth, takes the gun, wraps it, and takes it away. So that,
and there's a degree of reverence in that.
100%.
Yeah.
For me, it's like the handling of the gun is so much more cautious than the handling of these lives.
And what does that then say about America's relationship with firearms?
I think, I mean, everyone discusses this all the time. It's a very weird thing because, you know, we know that guns kill people, but here we are, America has a president who is pro-guns. And I mean, a lot of his base, of course, that he has to satisfy supports that. And when things like Black Lives Matter and all the debates that come with that and people arguing all lives matter, that's not the debate here. The debate is about how black lives seem to not be as important and as issues like owning a gun, for example.
It's also an indictment, and you can tease this out for me, about the distraction of social media. So on the one hand, there is horror, there is mayhem, there's mourning that is happening. On the other hand, at the flick of a button, we're celebrating something.
100%.
What does that say about social media and the impact that it's having on lives?
I'm not sure what the word limit is these days on Twitter, but it used to be 140 characters. And I've always said, you know, people have the concentration span of 140 characters because you find yourself sitting on Twitter, the trending topic is Mama Weenie's funeral and we are mourning. And then the next minute you're excited about the Kwara dance. And I think Childish Gambino shows that in the video after gunning down the first person and starts dancing the Kwara. And there's a lot of chaos happening around him, but there seems to be this joyfulness that's happening with him and the group of dancers. It's totally about the distraction.
About the distraction, are we always looking for the next big thing?
We're always looking for the next big thing. It doesn't matter how serious the issues we are looking at are. Our concentration seems to just shift from one thing to another.
All right, what happens at the end of the video? You come to the end of it and then you're going to talk about a reference possibly to the Statue of Liberty.
This is something that some commentators have alluded to, that the singer SZA, who's sitting on top of a car at the end of the video, sort of symbolizes Lady Liberty in her passiveness to what is going on. You know, she symbolizes freedom and the American dream, but all of this chaos is transpiring around her and she's just sitting there looking pretty. And then it moves on, the camera moves on to Childish Gambino himself being chased down by a crowd of people looking terrified. And I think that encapsulates the fear that most black people have under this administration in the US at the moment.
What is so important about this and what is it going to change?
I mean, I don't know if it will change much. I haven't seen in a long time an artist who's been able to capture the zeitgeist in this kind of manner. And as I said before, I think the artist's responsibility is to reflect, putting up a mirror to society to say, hey, this is what's going on, look at yourselves. We can think about how it will change things, but I don't know if it will change much.
Will it change the debate in terms of Black lives?
I think the debate has been going on for many years.
But this is a new term.
I think this is a representation of the debate. It's not necessarily the debate itself. And I think the debate has been going on for quite a while, and it's about people now coming together and deciding what's the way forward. How do we become a better world that is a better world for all of us and not just a few? So I think it's not necessarily that the debate is getting to a peak because of this video. I think the debate has always been there, and the reason why this video has been successful is precisely because it captures all of these debates that we are having about the chaos that's happening in the world today.
Recording artist and writer Mix Blouse, thank you very much for the insight.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Next on the program, how a news analysis website is bridging an important gap at a time when newsrooms are cutting down on staff.